Hello everyone, my name is Dan, and in this video I will share with you my top 3 favorite SMC indicators that I use when I trade Forex. So if that sounds interesting, let's get right into it. Alright, so all these indicators are indicators that I use on a daily basis, but I do need to tell you that the smart money concept strategy I use on a daily basis is not based on indicators. I don't use a indicator based strategy. However, these indicators are great when it comes to confluence, and I will let you know in a minute exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's start. Let's start off with the first indicator, which, to be fair, I think it's my favorite one. Of course, I love all three of them, but if I would have to pick one, it would most likely be the volume profile indicator. So to enable that one, you will go to the indicators and you will search for SVP. SVP stands for Session Volume Profile. You will click on this indicator right here, and then you will pretty much have it enabled. Let's check the settings real quick to make sure we have the same exact settings. So I only enabled the POC, which stands for the point of control, and inputs are pretty much default. After that, you click OK and you're all set. Why do I love this indicator so much? Well, essentially, it shows you the levels that hold the most volume for that specific session. It shows you the area where the majority of orders were placed for that specific session. And we know that those areas are zones where price would like to bounce from. Okay, and the way I use it is very simple. I literally have this trade that is currently playing out, and this is a trade I sent, I think, 1 or 2 hours ago in my SMC trading group. I will attach a picture on the screen right now to see exactly when this buy limit was sent in the SMC trading group. Okay, and a great confluence for us when it comes to this buy limit was this session volume profile indicator. Okay, so I placed the buy limit on this demand level. Okay, and then when I enabled the volume profile indicator, the point of control was sitting right on this demand level. Okay, and because of that, this was a extra confluence. This was a extra confluence for me to be like, okay, this is a high probability type of setup. Of course, this doesn't mean that it will win 100% of times. It will still have all the confluences in the world and still hit the stop loss. But for me, this is a high probability setup. I know it has a higher chance to play out the way I want it to play out. And guess what? It did. Check what a beautiful sniper reaction price had to this demand level. And it happened to be in the to be aligning with the point of control. Okay, so that's exactly why I love this indicator so much, because it will show you the levels, the areas that hold a lot of volume, and we know that these areas are zones where price would like to bounce from. And then if that zone happens to align with our supply or demand setup, our supply or demand level, that's a great confluence for us. Okay, and we can see it had a great reaction. It smashed TP1 and TP2. And I will also attach a picture on the screen right now to see exactly when I updated the trade that it hit TP1. And of course, I will update it. I will update the group that it smashed TP2 as well as soon as I will end this video. And of course, if you don't want to miss out on beautiful trades like this, feel free to join the group. Feel free to join the SMC trading group. It is the first link down below. Okay, so now that you understand why I love this indicator so much, let's move on to the second one. The second indicator is the yesterday's high and low. Okay, so to enable that indicator, all we got to do is search for yesterday's OHLC, and it's this one, yesterday's open, high, low, and close. Okay, you will click on it, and then personally I only enable the yesterday's low and yesterday's high. I don't really care about the yesterday's open and yesterday's close. If you care about those levels too, feel free to leave them on. I only care about the yesterday's high and yesterday's low. Once again, the reason I love this indicator is because it shows me these areas. It shows me the yesterday's low, okay, the lowest point of yesterday, the lowest point the market reached on the previous day, and the highest point the market reached yesterday, okay. And once again, usually these are levels where price could potentially bounce from. This doesn't mean that price would always bounce from the previous high of the day or the previous low of the day, but it has a tendency, okay. Most of the times it will show a reaction, and we can literally see, okay. So yesterday price had a reaction to the yesterday's low. The day before that, it had another reaction to the yesterday's low, okay. Here it had a reaction to the yesterday's high area, okay. So we can see that these areas are once again zones where price could potentially bounce from. And once again, the same way I would look for a confluence with the point of control with the volume profile indicator, I would look to see if my demand or supply level where I place a sell or a buy limit on is on a yesterday's high or low zone or around it. Okay, we can see that in this scenario right here, I don't really think this yesterday's low is giving me any confidence with this buy limit setup. Okay, but that doesn't mean I'm not taking it. I'm still taking it. I would still take this buy limit setup if I would have no confluence from the yesterday's high or low, or from the volume profile indicator. But of course, in this case, we had a great confluence with the point of control, with the volume profile indicator. Okay, so once again, the way I like to use this yesterday's high and low is to see if it aligns with my supply or demand level where I place a buy or sell limit on. Because if it aligns, once again, it gives me a extra confidence that could be a really good setup. Okay, that's exactly why I am using these levels, because I know they will show me areas where price would like to bounce from, or could bounce from, where price could bounce from. But once again, could, okay? Because like I said, this is not a holy grail. Don't think that if I have all the possible confluences in the world aligned, that will be a 100% winner. It won't, okay? There will still be a chance for that trade to hit the stop loss, okay? Because that's just how trading is. Trading is a probability game, and it will always stay like this, okay? So yeah, now let's move on to the third one. But before we do, if you like what you see and you don't want to miss out on future content like this, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are subscribed and you have the notification bell turned on to be the first one that watches the uploads, okay? So the third indicator and the last one is the pivot indicator, the pivots, okay? So to enable this one, you would search for pivots, okay? And it's this one, pivot points standard. All right, now it will look something like this. Let's quickly go on settings and inputs. You should have the type set to traditional, pivots time frame to auto, and number of pivots back 1. Okay, so traditional, auto, and 1. Style is default, visibility default. So after that, you just click OK. This indicator will show you support and resistant areas, okay, in the market. And again, these support and resistance areas on this pivot indicator are areas where price would like to bounce from. So once again, if a support or a resistance zone area of the pivot indicator would align with a supply or demand level, okay, that would be a great confluence for us. In this case, it doesn't, but let's say we would have a supply level, a demand level right here. That would be a great confluence because we know that this support level from the pivot indicator aligns with it, okay? So yeah, and you can see, once again, it has the tendency to reject from it, okay? Check this out. If we would have drawn a rectangle around this support area right here, we can see that price bounced from it, okay? Price bounced from it. So once again, this pivot indicator will pretty much show you support and resistance areas where price could potentially bounce from. And then if you would have a supply or demand level align with one of these support or resistance levels from the pivot, that would be an extra confidence for you to be confident in that trade and take it. Okay, and that's exactly how I like to use these three indicators. All right, so yeah, on that note, please let me know down below. I'm very curious to see what your favorite indicators are. Please let me know. I'm really curious to see what your top 3 indicators are, the indicators that you use and that you love to use. And also let me know if you would start using one of these indicators, the indicators we've discussed about in this video. I'm really curious to see which one do you think it's the coolest one, and which one you think would be a perfect indicator for your current system, for your current strategy. Okay, so feel free to let me know down below. And till next time, feel free to also share and like the video. That will be very much appreciated. And a very super in-depth video, a very cool and super in-depth SMC trading strategy video will pop on the screen right now. Feel free to go and check it out. Trust me, you won't regret it. And until next time, I wish you all the best and take care.